Hello everybody. Lee Falk's 1936 comic strip hero, The Phantom, was made as a serial in 1943 by Columbia Pictures. Directed by B. Reeves Eason, the serial has one of my personal favorite actors, Tom Tyler, because he was Captain Marvel in The Adventures of Captain Marvel, and he was also the Mummy in The Mummy's Hand, as The Phantom. You got Jeannie Bates as Diana Palmer, Ace the Wonder Dog as the Phantom's dog Devil. It's said that Lee Falk disliked the serial, saying it looked like it was shot inside of a phone booth. Now, not a lot of folks like this serial, but here we are nearly 80 years later, and we're still talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm VanceCapley, and I'm joined by my friend Dave Goode. Hey Dave, let's talk about this serial.
Okay. Well, first off, since you mentioned it, yes, Lee Falk has reportedly hated that serial, and what you basically described there is the reason they hated it. It's the budget, I guess, was what he hated. But if you look at that serial, for goodness sakes, it's one of the better comic-based serials that Columbia made. We don't have Superman flying as a cartoon. We don't have Batman driving around in Bruce Wayne's car and nobody seems to notice. Yeah, it's a little bit chintzy, but it's a serial, for goodness sakes. And the story, well, the story is so much like a Lee Falk Phantom strip. It's incredible. I mean, there are pieces in it, and it has everything that you would want from a jungle movie. There's a collapsing bridge. There's the hero getting stuck in quicksand. The hero, of course, fights a gorilla in one chapter. And it's so much of the Phantom mythos there. There's a chapter with the fire goddess. That's straight Falk right there, man. Some hoochie coochie dancer the bad guys have hired to pretend she's the fire goddess and everything. That's something straight out of the Lee Falk comic strip. I can't see what the serial is, except for, like I said, it's chintzy in some places. But once again, it's a serial.
Well, it's more than a serial, it's a Columbia serial. So that may be what hurt it. Could you imagine if a Republic had done this? Oh my gosh.
Okay. That's something you hear constantly. How would Republic have made the serial better?
Let's see. Not filmed it such a chintzy manner.
Well, there you have. That's the only problem.
Exactly.
With it.
That's the thing. There's no other complaints.
It doesn't bother me at all. The only problem I had at first when I saw it, and it wasn't even when I first saw it for the first time. I watched it like twice, and then it hit me. Oh my gosh, we got a former Western movie star and stuntman, and he's not rearing his white stallion hero at any place in the movie.
Hey, that's true.
Where's Hero?
One of my favorite.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, one of my favorite things, you'd mentioned Western hero. We have 3 Western heroes in this movie that I can recall. You've got, of course, Tom Tyler. And, of course, you've got Jay Silverhill's Tonto. And you've also got Kermit Maynard appearing in this picture. He's playing Drake. But, I mean, the only thing that people complain about is the super low budget of this thing.
Okay, well, let me just get back to my part about Hero.
Go ahead.
Somebody informed me Hero wasn't part of the Phantom mythos at the time the serial was made. So that was my big complaint. That complaint goes out the window. He wasn't there yet. I mean, the Phantom rode various horses in the comic strip, but it wasn't Hero because Hero hadn't been created yet.
That is cool.
Now, go back to what you were saying.
Well, I'm just saying that This, like I said, it's just the budget. It's what hurts it so badly. It is like the strips. The budget just really hurts.
Does it have the skull throne?
It's got everything, but the budget's bad, and that's what hurts it.
Does it have the skull cave?
Well,
Do they have the separate crypts for the various phantoms over the 400 years? Do they have the treasure of the phantom?
see, if you're doing that, we could just say that it's a perfect serial, and we both know it's not. We both agree that it's a great story. It's got all the elements in it, except on a lower budget. Now, I love B movies. You know this. Heck, I love Z movies. What are you talking about? But it's just, for me, I just wish they had put a little more into the, a little bit into the budget of this, because the Phantom was like a big deal in the day, Am I right?
Nah, I mean, I'm going to say this. If it wasn't for Falk's complaint, I bet you half the fans wouldn't complain about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, for the longest time, you couldn't see the movie.
Right.
So you're just going by, oh, well, Falk said he didn't like it, and okay, I don't like it either.
Well, see,
which is something that's standardly ridiculous to me. I mean, for all we had for years were the synopsis of the serial and the various chapters and pictures.
This is true.
Just going by the pictures, it's great.
Yes.
Tyler looks great as the Phantom.
He looks fantastic as the Phantom. Yeah, I like the serial.
There's also just this one little thing. When you said Tom Tyler, I don't know, it's like it clicked for the first time. Somebody else said it. It's not like I'm reading it or thinking it. Somebody else said it. And the minute you said it, I said, Tom Tyler, wasn't that Our Man's secret identity over at DC Comics?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Or was it Tim Tyler?
I think it's Tim Tyler. Yeah, I think it's Tim Tyler. Yeah.
Wait a minute, but then how could they have a Tim Tyler? They're intruding on somebody else's copyright. Remember, there was the comic strip Tim Tyler's Look, which was made into a Universal serial.
I don't know how it works back then. All I know is this is what it was. The edition that you gave me so many years ago, where they they redubbed the missing chapter. Was that VCI Entertainment? Is that correct? Do you remember?
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was reading that someone else had done another version of that, but I've not been able to find it. It's still awesome, though. I honestly think that if they found the original prints, they could clean them up, and it would be, no one would complain. I'll be honest with you. It's just worn out, and it's faded over time, and I think that a lot of people attribute that to the actual filming of the serial, and that had nothing to do with it. That's just time wearing out old film. I don't know how else to say it. I think that plays into it as well.
Yeah, like I said, the serial, it has everything you would expect or want from a jungle serial. Tim Tyler looks good in the costume. All the characters you have, like you said, Diana Palmer's there and looking cute and everything. And I have no complaints. I have no complaints with that particular serial. I think it's wonderful. Are the fight scenes up to ones that if, say, if Republic had done it, would they have done better fight scenes? Yeah, I think so. But at the same time, there's nothing lacking in the fight scenes. They're energetic. They're fast-moving. Oh, I'm missing one of the best parts of this serial. Kenneth MacDonald as the villain of the piece.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
Brilliant, man.
Better know him for his work he did with the Three Stooges, but I think he's wonderful in this serial. He has such deadpan lines. I mean, his men come up to him at one point in the serial after they claim they killed the Phantom for the 6th time in the serial. Of course, they fail, and of course, the Phantom is the man who can never die. And he makes a comment, oh, somebody else has come down with that disease. I killed the Phantomitis. That's
yes.
hilarious line. And, you know, he has a wonderfully silky voice as he used as a villain, and he was just great. He's a big part of why I like that serial. I just mentioned in the serial, and this is my other big thing that I hold against it. They keep referring to the Phantom as the man who never dies. No problem. They do that. They do that in the comic strip. They do it in comic book versions. But he's best known as the ghost who walks.
That's correct.
And I think that there's one chapter in the serial where they actually refer to him as the ghost who walks. And the only thing I can think of, they didn't want to scare little kids that were coming to the serial with the ghost who walks, you know. So they went with the man who never dies.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Truth.
You know, have you ever read any of the old Phantom comic strip serials?
Yes.
Are they wonderful or what?
Oh, they're fantastic.
I mean, they're so well written. A little while ago, I was rereading the first serial where he first goes up against the Singh Brotherhood, and I just love, and it's my favorite part of it. I mean, you're reading the strip, and throughout it, he's like, you know, he's your typical masked mystery man. And then, like, halfway through the serial, that's when Fork introduces the whole bit of the Phantom mythology, how he's the ghost who walks, how he's lived for 400 years, and all of this stuff. And I'm like, has anybody ever asked Lee Falk when he was alive, what made you change it mid-story? I mean, you got the Oath of the Skull, you have it's just so wonderful. It's like he changed it mid-story. There was even a time in the serial where Diana had this boyfriend, you know, this athletic-looking guy, broad shoulders and such, and, you know, he's one of those Bruce Wayne types, and you're sure that this guy's going to turn out to be the Phantom. You know, like, he's like forgotten. After they get into the whole ghost who walks and the Phantom mythology and you know, like the Lord High Sings, we of the Sing burned you at the stake 300 years ago. Don't forget, the Phantom always returns.
That's wonderful.
That stuff became that's what made the Phantom the Phantom. I don't think it would have lasted if he was just some guy in tights running around doing, you know, guy in tights stuff.
Following the Phantom, we almost had a sequel.
Yeah.
And that didn't pan out.
Almost, yes. And that sequel would have starred John Hart.
Yes.
Who had replaced Clayton Moore for a time when Moore went into a contract dispute on the Lone Ranger show, and Hart played him for a time. And the serial you're talking about is
The Adventures of Captain Africa.
Phantom, but Columbia found out they let the rights lapse. And they had shot all this footage, and they said, well, we're using a lot of stock footage anyway to match him up. So let's just make a whole new character. Let's give him a similar costume, and that'll match up with the stock footage. And hence came Captain Africa.
The serial's not too bad. It's pretty good.
Which is a young person of color. When I heard that, I thought, hey, there was a hero, serial hero, and no, there wasn't.
Oh my goodness. Was there's also a Phantom TV pilot?
Yeah, 50s or was that early 60s? I think it was in the 60s.
Okay. I can't remember things
I
anymore.
could be wrong. So if anybody out there is listening, yes, I could be wrong.
Now, who played the do you remember who played the Phantom in that TV pilot?
I don't remember who played the Phantom, but we had Lon Chaney Jr. in there.
Excellent.
It doesn't really matter who played the Phantom. He was in the costume for like
it's true.
5 minutes out of a 20-minute pilot.
This is true.
We have Richard Keel in there.
That's right. Yes.
That's right. He's in there. And more importantly, and this was more than a few years later, but the villainess in this particular pilot was played by Paulette Goddard.
Wow.
Who is my first and last choice to have played Catwoman in a 1940s movie. I always imagine her playing the Catwoman opposite Robert Taylor as Bruce Wayne Batman. And what's really funny is I imagine her husband playing the Penguin.
Oh wow!
And do you know who Paulette Goddard's husband at the time was?
Was it Chaplin? No.
No, she had been married to Chaplin at one point.
But not at that period, though.
She was also married to Burgess Meredith.
There you go. Perfect fit.
I mean, who else to play the Penguin but Burgess Meredith?
Exactly.
Who played the Penguin in the Batman TV series in the 60s. I always thought that would have been cool.
True.
Not many people know this, but when I say that my third favorite hero, comic strip hero, is Dick Grayson.
Nothing wrong with that.
When I say Dick Grayson, I mean Dick Grayson as Robin, Dick Grayson as Nightwing, Dick Grayson just as Dick Grayson. That's my third favorite hero. And then I say, well, Captain America is my favorite hero. So everybody just assumes my second favorite hero is Batman. Not the case. It's the Phantom.
It makes sense. Batman's he's powerful without being powerful now, if that makes any sense. I think he could beat Galactus. That's how powerful Batman is.
I hate when they made Batman Bat-God.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that I found, about maybe 10 years ago, was the illegal version, not illegal, but bootleg version, or whatever you want to call it, from Turkey of the Phantom.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, the fight scenes are just like crazy. And I like
we make fun of these Turkish bootlegs, but they're fun.
Oh, I don't make fun of them. I love them. I watch the crap out of them. I found one that had like a Daredevil and Black Widow pastiche.
Did you ever see their
Good Stuff?
The Turkish version of Batman and Robin?
Yes. Oh my goodness, so much fun.
I wish Adam and Burt Ward had fought like that.
Yes. Let's see. Oh yeah. So then we go forward, and I'm wanting to say the Phantom made an appearance on a cartoon, like a brief appearance on a cartoon in the early 70s for ABC, The Man Who Stole Laughter, that has Popeye in it. I know Flash Gordon was in it, but I think Phantom's in it, but I can't remember.
I apologize.
Say again.
No, I said I keep interrupting you. I apologize.
No, I'm sorry. I need to put headphones on so I can hear the difference. It's kind of off. I think it's off by a hair. That's why I keep over talking. I'm sorry about that. But I think the Phantom made an appearance on that, but I can't remember 100%. But the next...
Yes, he did, and it was a forerunner of that later cartoon show, Defenders of the Earth.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because they had the King feature heroes, in that cartoon. You had Mandrake and Lothar.
Yes.
You had Flash Gordon.
Yep.
And you had the Phantom.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was in there.
I just wonder why they was like trying to put the kids as the stars of the show when I was tuning in just to see the original heroes. In my opinion, I like that better. You know.
You mean you didn't like Olive Oil with her song, "Don't I Look Dreamy in My"?
I like that. I like that. I love Olive Oil. On Defenders of the Earth, that cartoon, it seems to me they should have, maybe not played up the kids more than the main original heroes. That's just my opinion, though,
Yeah, I mean, the heroes would come in every so often and break up the silliness of whatever was going on with Popeye and Olive and the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, they did go on from there, and they did make the Defenders of the Universe. I don't know if it's
that's the cartoon I was
company or what. But
that was the cartoon I was.
Get that.
Yeah, that was the cartoon I was talking about. Defenders of the Earth. The other one's called. Hold on one second. I gotta get this call. 1 second. Okay, so now we move to a cartoon that was made where the Phantom was in the future.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
That was not a good cartoon. Oh my goodness. Okay, move on. We're going up to Billy Zane now.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you skip somebody? No, you didn't get to him yet.
No, I ain't got that. Go ahead.
Okay. Billy Zane Phantom. Great movie.
I liked it all the way up to he becomes Green Lantern. That's it.
That's the one part I can't stand. I've said that on Facebook as long as I've been on Facebook.
Yes.
Get rid of the freaking magic ring.
For goodness sakes, if I want to watch Green Lantern, I'll watch Green Lantern. And I'm not going to watch Green Lantern. Tell me why you didn't like the scene where he talks to his dead father.
See, there were several.
Yeah?
I can see. No, I can't see. I just can't see it. There's no point to it. It's almost like you're giving. It's almost as bad as the ring because you're giving him some sort of supernatural power.
What if the person who made that movie was a Superman fan and wanted to have that Superman and Dad moment?
Then they should have shot themselves.
Oh, you've gone dark, my friend.
I mean, there's a point when he's in New York, he's riding in the back of the cab.
Yeah.
And he's talking to his father, and are you talking to somebody? Well, yeah, I'm talking to myself, pretending I'm talking to my father, and what my father would be saying to me at this point. No, it just doesn't work for me.
No.
Like I said, other people like it. It just doesn't work for me.
Right now, Dynamite Comics is talking about bringing back. Well, they've already done it. King's Quest, featuring the Phantom and Mandrake and Flash Gordon, Prince Valiant, Jungle Jim, all in one book. Where can I find this book at? Because I don't remember it being on the shelf anywhere around here.
I don't know.
I'll have to order that one.
We have a mutual friend on Facebook who has been talking about who actually tried to get the rights because he wanted to do a Jungle Jim movie. And he talks about how they're just sitting on the thing.
It's ridiculous.
Hey, let him get the rights. Let him put out a Jungle Jim comic. I mean, there's no point in buying the rights and just sitting on them.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's not like and it's also not like you're trying to put out some super budget Hollywood movie. You're putting out a comic book.
Exactly.
Get the writer, get the artist, and get going. That's, case closed.
And if you can't get Jungle Jim, you can always do a Johnny Weissmuller comic book. Do you know anybody who's thinking about that?
Something that we've been trying to do, but hey.
Who do we need to contact to make this happen?
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
before when you mentioned that Phantom in the future, do you remember another live-action Phantom version?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay, I'm going to remind everybody, and please don't be throwing rocks at your computer screen. I think it came from Canada, and it was they were trying to do an updating of the Phantom, with the Phantom as a sort of secret agent in a Power Rangers type purple costume. The Purple Power Ranger. It was so ridiculous. They found...
was this live action?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I got to look this up.
They found Kit Walker, or the son of the last known Phantom.
Yeah.
Only he wasn't raised like all the other Phantoms to be the Phantom.
Okay.
Okay, so how much sense does that make? That, okay, we have this super suit that we're going to put you on, this exoskeleton thing with fusion powers you can use from this, and we're going to put you in it because you're Kit Walker.
Oh, wow.
Well, wait a minute. You weren't raised to be the Phantom. He has no idea who he is. They could have anybody in the costume.
Yeah.
That in itself made absolutely no sense. You put this thing together, so you have to find the Phantom. Why? Is it built so only somebody with that DNA can use it? Nope.
Wow.
Here's the other thing. Why are you calling him the Phantom? Everybody knows what the Phantom looks like.
Yeah.
Does your Power Ranger outfit even remotely, aside from the fact it's purple, look like the Phantom's costume?
I have not seen this thing.
It's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Well,
and that's something that most Phantom fans agree on.
I'll have to see it. I can't make a judgment call on it yet. Dang it. Now, there's another Phantom appearance that we both know of that was in the cinema, but it was not a Phantom film.
What was it?
The 10th Victim, the comic strip of the Phantom is in Flash Gordon.
Oh, yeah, he should, right.
Yeah.
Great film. Oh, and of course, we're skipping over Paul Hogan on his television show.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've seen that clip.
He played the Phantom in a skit because the Phantom is very big in Australia. Well, the Phantom's very big all over the world.
Yes, I've noticed this. You can look at foreign comics, bootleg comics. They put Phantom up there with Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. I mean, that's how big he is around the world to this very day. But here, what? Who? The Phantom? Who's that?
Oh, yeah. That reminds me, there was something that was crazy. When the Billy Zane movie came out,
yeah,
they were asking kids in the street what they thought about it, after they went in and saw it. And their reaction was, oh, it was like they were trying to do Batman and they were trying to do Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I said, yes, and both of those borrow from the Phantom.
Thank you.
I mean, these are people with no sense of history.
Yeah.
What's his name? A friend of ours on Facebook, well, at least I don't know if you're a friend of his, but Dan Hagen.
I've seen you. I've heard you mention him.
This very day that he was talking to James Bond fans.
Yeah.
About the books.
Yes.
These people had no idea there were James Bond books.
Oh, my goodness. Are you serious? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's stuff like that that really scares me, man.
Oh, my Lord.
Once again, no sense of history.
Not at all. All right, now, it's time to break out our...
More Phantom questions or revelations speak?
Well, I have a question for you now. I need to know if you were going to make a Phantom movie, I know you'd base it strictly off Lee Falk stuff, but who would you have play the Phantom in this day and age?
Can't imagine. Well, yeah, I can't imagine. First of all, I don't go with a known commodity. I go out there and I find a totally unknown actor, which is something that's kind of like bothered me for years, that you got to go out and you got to get a big star or a semi-big star. I mean, with all the guys out in Hollywood that think they're going to be the next action hero, you can't find somebody that looks good in a pair of tights and who can act even just a little bit. That's who I would get. I'm not looking for some big name person to play the Phantom or anybody else.
That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
How well known was Christopher Reeve when they cast him as Superman?
Not very well known at all.
No, did some soap opera and some other work. Yeah, that's what you do. You go for the unknown. Because if you take a star, you start thinking, oh, look, it's such and such playing the Phantom, instead of, ooh, that's the Phantom. That's just my way of thinking. You don't have to agree with me.
Well, I agree with you, but, you know, if I was going to make a Phantom movie and I wanted to make some box office, I would probably get one person that pops in my head. He may be too old now to play the part, but I would like to see Jason Statham play the Phantom and keep him in the freaking mask. There's no need for him to walk around without the mask. If he walks around without the mask, he's got to wear the hat and the sunglasses and the big coat.
The sunglasses. Yeah,
Thank you.
The sunglasses, the hat.
But, I mean, he's probably too old now to play the Phantom. Would you agree?
Okay. Here's an idea. If I was to make one thing, if I was to make a Phantom movie today, this very moment, or within the next 3 years,
Yeah.
I'd have Billy Zane come back to get killed.
Yeah, that would be great to carry on the legacy. That's great.
Get the wrong way. I'll have him play the Phantom who passes the ring and the mask and, you know, the whole ceremony. The Phantom is dead, long live the Phantom.
I have no problem with that.
I have Billy Zane play the Phantom who gets killed and then passes everything on to his son.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Very good. Very good.
Then I couldn't, because Billy Zane played him in the perfect time period. That was the perfect time period for a Phantom movie. 30s, 40s.
I agree. Right now, if you're a Phantom fan, you can find the Phantom pretty much everywhere. You can order it online. If you're looking for the Phantom, you can find them in Moonstone Books. You can find them at Dynamite Entertainment. And Hermes Press is doing some Phantom stuff as well. So be looking for the Phantom. We thank you so much for watching, and we're going to bug out now and head back into the jungle. Dave, good talking to you, bud.
Okay, well, you take care of yourself and say howdy to the folks.
All righty. Good night.
Good night.